Sometimes life hits you all at once. Everything that used to make sense suddenly doesn't. Doors you thought would stay open start closing. People you trusted begin to drift away. And no matter how hard you try, nothing seems to work. You start wondering, God, what's happening? Did I do something wrong? But listen closely. What if what feels like the end is actually the beginning of something bigger? What if the chaos around you is not a punishment, but a preparation? Because when God is about to give you something big, He doesn't make it comfortable. He makes it purposeful. Every great blessing begins with a breaking. Before elevation comes separation. Before abundance comes emptiness. Before your greatest yes comes a season of no's. You see, God doesn't show you the promise first. He builds you for it. He tests your patience. He purifies your motives. He teaches you to walk by faith when you can't see a thing. And right now, someone watching this feels like giving up. You've been fighting silent battles. You've been holding on while everything around you is falling apart. But what if I told you that pressure you feel, that confusion you're facing is a sign? Because when God is about to change your life, He changes your environment first. He shakes things that can't stand in your next season. He removes what can't go with you so He can release what belongs to you. Don't mistake the storm for the end of your story. Don't let the pain make you think He forgot you. No, my friend, this is divine construction. God is rearranging things. He's aligning people. He's setting the stage for something bigger than you imagine. So when everything feels uncertain, when nothing seems to make sense, don't panic. You are in the middle of a spiritual transition. Something inside you knows you're on the edge of something great. And that's why you're here right now. Because God wanted you to hear this message, to remind you that the struggle is not random. The pressure is not punishment, it's preparation for the promise. In this video, we're going to uncover the 7 signs that God is about to give you something big. Pay attention, because if you're seeing these signs in your life right now, your breakthrough may be closer than you think. First sign, the weight increases before the breakthrough. Before every blessing, there's pressure. Before every new level, there's a test. And before God lifts you up, He allows the weight to press you down. You may feel like everything is closing in right now. The bills are heavier, the expectations are higher, the peace you once had feels like it's slipping away. But listen, that pressure is not there to destroy you. It's there to develop you. Diamonds are made under pressure. Gold is purified by fire, and your faith is strengthened through struggle. You're praying for God to lift the weight, but God is saying, I'm teaching you how to carry it. Because what He's preparing you for requires strength you've never used before. You see, when God is about to bless you in a big way, He often increases the pressure to stretch your capacity. He's preparing you to handle more responsibility, more favor, more influence. But before He can trust you with it, He has to build you for it. That's why the attacks get stronger when you're closer to the promise. That's why people start testing your patience. That's why life starts shaking in every direction, because heaven is preparing to open something powerful for you. So when the pressure builds, don't say, God, why me? Say, God, thank you for trusting me, because the pressure means you're chosen. It means He's not done with you yet. Remember this, a seed must be buried in the dark before it grows. It must break before it blossoms. And right now, you may feel buried, but you're not buried to die. You're buried to rise. The pressure you're feeling is proof that there's something inside you that's ready to emerge. A stronger you, a wiser you, a version of you that can handle the blessing that's coming. Don't run from the pressure. Grow through it. Don't curse the struggle. Learn from it. Because one day soon, you'll look back and realize the weight you thought would break you was actually the very thing that built you. And when the blessing finally comes, you'll understand why it took time. You'll understand why the pressure had to be there. Because God wasn't denying you. He was defining you. So if you feel like life is pressing you right now, don't give up. You're not under attack. You're under construction. God is preparing you for something bigger than you can imagine. Second sign, God starts shutting doors that lead nowhere. One of the hardest things to understand is why God allows doors to close, especially the ones we really wanted open. The job you prayed for that didn't call back, the relationship that ended without reason, the opportunity that slipped right through your hands. You start asking yourself, God, did I miss it? Did I do something wrong? But here's the truth. Sometimes the doors that close are not rejection, they're protection. You see, God sees the path ahead long before you do. He knows what's behind every shiny opportunity, every charming person, every open road. And when He shuts a door, it's not to hurt you, it's to redirect you. Sometimes He'll block what you thought was the way to guide you to what's truly meant for you. Because not every open door is divine. Some doors are distractions. Some doors lead to delay. And some doors are simply too small for your destiny. So if you've been facing closed doors lately, if you've been hearing more no's than yeses, don't lose heart. That's not the enemy stopping you. That's God protecting you. The truth is, God will often close the wrong door before He opens the right one. He's not saying no. He's saying, not here, not this one, not yet. Think about it. If every door opened, you'd walk into rooms that could destroy your peace. You'd meet people who would drain your purpose. You'd step into situations that would break your spirit. So when the door closes, thank God anyway. Because sometimes the rejection is the redirection. Sometimes the disappointment is actually deliverance. When Joseph was thrown into the pit, he thought it was the end of his dream. But that closed door led him to Pharaoh's palace. When Moses fled Egypt, it looked like failure, but that redirection led him to purpose. And when Jesus was rejected in His own town, it pushed Him into His true assignment. Closed doors are not the end of your story. They are the detours that lead you to destiny. You may not see it now, but one day you'll look back and say, thank you, God, for every door you closed. Because you'll realize, if He had let you in some of those places, you wouldn't be standing in the blessing you have today. So don't chase after what God has already locked. Don't cry over doors that no longer open. Instead, lift your head and say, Lord, I trust you. If you closed it, it wasn't mine. Lead me to the one that is. Because when God closes a door, He's not rejecting you. He's redirecting you towards something far greater. Third sign, people begin to leave your life suddenly. Have you noticed lately that people are starting to drift away? Friends you thought would be there forever, suddenly distant. People you trusted, now silent. Relationships that once felt unbreakable, starting to fade. Hurts. It's confusing. You start asking, God, why are they leaving me now? Why does everyone seem to walk away when I need them most? But listen carefully. Sometimes divine separation is part of divine preparation. When God is about to take you to a new level, He doesn't just bless you, He cleans your circle. Because not everyone who started with you is meant to finish with you. Some people were only assigned to your past season. They were there to teach you lessons, not to live your destiny. And if God didn't separate you, you'd carry them into a future that was never built for them. You see, God hears conversations you can't hear. He sees intentions you can't see, and sometimes His protection shows up as disconnection. So don't chase who walked away. Don't beg for people to stay. When God removes someone, it's because their presence could block your progress. Remember, Abraham couldn't receive God's promise until he separated from Lot. Jesus couldn't start His ministry until Judas revealed himself. And sometimes your elevation will expose who was truly for you and who was only around for what you could give. It's painful, yes, but every goodbye creates space for a greater hello. Every empty seat in your life is being prepared for someone divinely assigned to help you grow, not hold you back. So when the separation happens, don't see it as rejection. See it as promotion. Because when God begins to bless you, He will protect the blessing by pruning your circle. You may not understand it now, but in time, you'll realize some people had to leave so you could breathe again. Some relationships had to end so your spirit could heal. Some connections had to break so your calling could blossom. God is not taking people away to leave you lonely. He's taking people away to make room for purpose. So the next time someone walks out of your life, don't fall apart, trust the process. Because divine separation is not a loss. It's a setup for divine connection. God removes the wrong people, so the right ones can find their way to you. And when they do, you'll see why the separation was necessary. Fourth sign, you feel deep discomfort with your current life. Have you ever felt like you don't belong where you used to fit? The job you once loved now drains you. The routine you used to enjoy now feels heavy. Even the people around you, you still love them, but somehow you've outgrown the conversations. You can't explain it, but something deep inside whispers, there's more. That's not boredom. That's not frustration. That's holy restlessness. It's God's way of stirring your spirit, of letting you know that your current chapter is coming to an end. You see, before God moves you into your next season, He first makes you uncomfortable in your current one. Because if you were content where you are, you would never have the courage to move. Sometimes He'll take away the excitement for what once fulfilled you, just to awaken a deeper hunger for what He truly called you to do. When you start to feel that inner tug, that quiet dissatisfaction, it's not that you're ungrateful, it's that your calling is expanding. God is shifting your spirit before He shifts your situation. He's preparing you for new territory. He's placing a divine restlessness inside of you to push you toward growth. Think about an eagle before it learns to fly. The mother eagle stirs the nest. She removes the soft feathers and leaves behind thorns and sticks. Why? Because the discomfort forces the young eagle to spread its wings. That's exactly what God does with you. He stirs your nest. He allows discomfort not to punish you, but to prepare you for flight. So when you feel uneasy in a place you once loved, don't panic. That's the divine signal. Your season there is complete. God is calling you to something higher, something deeper, something greater. You may not see the full picture yet, but the feeling of restlessness is your invitation to trust. It's heaven's way of saying, get ready. Something new is about to begin. So stop trying to silence the stirring in your spirit. Don't numb it with distractions. Lean into it, pray through it, because that restlessness is not a curse. It's a calling. You're not losing your peace. You're being positioned for purpose. And the same God who made you uncomfortable here is already preparing there. So when your spirit starts to outgrow your surroundings, don't fight it. It's a sign that God is getting ready to move you higher. Fifth sign, you start seeing repeated messages and signs everywhere. Have you ever noticed that sometimes the same message keeps finding you? You're scrolling online and a quote speaks directly to what you've been praying about. Then you turn on the radio and the lyrics sound like they were written for you. A sermon, a random conversation, even a stranger's words, and they all echo the same truth. That's not coincidence. That's confirmation. When God is about to do something big in your life, He doesn't whisper once. He repeats Himself. He sends the same message in different forms, through different people, and at unexpected moments, because He knows you've been doubting. He knows you've been asking, God, is this really you? And so He keeps confirming it until you can't ignore it anymore. You see, God speaks in patterns. He speaks through repetition. He knows that when your heart is anxious, your ears need reassurance. And so He'll use anything to reach you. a dream that feels too real to forget, a Bible verse that appears over and over again, a conversation that just happens to answer your secret question. Sometimes you'll feel it deep in your spirit, a peace that doesn't make sense, a quiet knowing that can't be explained. That's the Holy Spirit saying, yes, this is the path. Keep walking. But here's the challenge. Many people pray for confirmation, yet when it comes, they dismiss it as coincidence. They say, that can't be God. That's just random. No, my friend. It's not random when it happens again and again. God doesn't waste his voice. If he's repeating himself, it's because you need to listen. He knows that your fear whispers louder than your faith sometimes. He knows that doubt can drown out destiny. So what does he do? He sends you reminders over and over until you realize this isn't luck, this is alignment. And when those signs begin to appear, when the same truth keeps showing up, don't overthink it. Don't second guess it. Don't talk yourself out of what God already confirmed. Say it out loud. I hear you, Lord. I see what you're showing me, because acknowledgement is faith in action. And here's something powerful. Confirmation always comes before manifestation. The signs show up before the blessing does. God sends the word first, then the wonder follows. So pay attention to the patterns. Don't brush off the message that keeps repeating. Heaven is speaking. Are you listening? Is about to give you something big. He'll make sure you know it. Not once, but again and again and again. Sixth sign, your faith gets tested like never before. You ever notice that the moment you decide to fully trust God, that's when everything starts falling apart? You make up your mind to walk by faith, and suddenly the job falls through. The relationship ends. The bills pile up. And the peace you once had seems to vanish overnight. You start to wonder, God, if you're really with me, why does it feel like everything's against me? Let me tell you something. That's not God abandoning you. That's God training you. See, before every blessing, there's a test. Before every promotion, there's pressure. And before God can trust you with more, he has to see if you'll still trust him with less. Faith is not proven on the mountaintop. Faith is proven in the valley, when nothing makes sense, when every door is locked, when your prayers seem unanswered and your strength is running out. That's where your faith is refined. That's where God separates believers from doubters, talkers from walkers, and wishers from warriors. Anyone can praise God when life is easy, but can you still worship when life feels unfair? Can you still say, I trust you, when you can't see what he's doing? That's real faith. That's the kind of faith that moves mountains, parts seas, and unlocks miracles. Remember this, God will never test you to break you. He tests you to build you. Because the greater the calling, the greater the testing. And the greater the blessing, the greater the refining. He's not trying to hurt you. He's preparing you. He's strengthening your endurance, stretching your patience, and shaping your spirit, so you can carry the weight of what you've been praying for. Think about it. Abraham's faith was tested before he became the father of nations. Joseph's faith was tested in a prison before he ruled in a palace. Even Jesus was tested in the wilderness before he began his ministry. So if your faith is under fire right now, don't panic. Don't give up. You are not being punished. You are being proven. Every trial, every delay, every disappointment is preparing you for the moment when God says, now, you're ready. So hold on, keep standing, keep believing when it makes no sense, because your faith under fire is not a sign that you're losing. It's proof that you're about to win. The enemy doesn't attack what isn't valuable. If your faith is being tested, it's because heaven already decided you're next in line for something big. So don't quit in the fire, because the fire is the final step before the favor. Seventh sign, unexpected doors begin to open. There comes a moment when everything begins to shift. You start noticing small things, coincidences, divine alignments, open doors that weren't there before, things that once seemed locked tight, things that refused to move, suddenly begin to make way for you. That, my friend, is not luck. That's divine orchestration. When God is about to give you something big, He starts opening doors you didn't even knock on. Doors that others tried to open and couldn't. Doors that were never meant for them because they were meant for you. Let me tell you something. When it's your season, no man, no system, no situation can stop what God has set in motion. You might not see it all clearly yet, but trust me, those small, unexpected opportunities, they're not random. They're God's signature moves. Maybe someone you barely know recommends you for a job you didn't even apply for. Maybe a video you post suddenly goes viral. Maybe a stranger speaks words that confirm everything you've been praying about in secret. That's how God works. Subtly, powerfully, intentionally. You see, divine doors don't always swing open wide with a loud noise. Sometimes they creak open just enough for you to take a step. But that one step can change everything. I want you to listen closely. When God begins to open these doors, don't second guess it. Don't overthink it. Don't say, I'm not ready. Because if God opened it, it's because He already prepared you. You see, when it's divine, it won't feel forced. It won't drain your peace. It won't require you to beg for validation. The right door, the one God opens, will feel right. It'll align with your spirit. You'll walk through it and say, this must be God. But remember this, before He opens those doors, He'll often test your obedience with closed ones. He'll see how you handle rejection. He'll see if you still praise Him when the opportunity doesn't come, because how you respond to the no's determines how prepared you are for the yes. So when that divine opportunity arrives, step boldly. Don't look back. Don't question if you deserve it. You do. You've endured too much to hesitate now. Every tears, every sleepless night, every time you thought it was over, it was leading you to this moment. This is the final sign. The moment where everything starts making sense. When the wrong doors close and suddenly the right one opens. Effortlessly. Because God doesn't just restore, He repositions. He doesn't just bless you, He elevates you. And when that divine door opens, walk through it with faith. Because what's waiting on the other side is everything you've prayed for. Now take a deep breath. You've walked through the storms, you've faced the silence, you've endured the waiting, but here you are, still standing, still believing, still holding on to faith, even when everything inside you screamed to give up. And I need you to hear me clearly. None of it was wasted. Every heartbreak, every delay, every lonely night when you thought God had forgotten you, it all had purpose. Because before God blesses a person publicly, He refines them privately. The pain was never punishment, it was preparation. The rejection wasn't rejection, it was redirection. And the waiting wasn't a waste, it was warfare. You were being trained, your spirit was being strengthened, your character was being shaped for what's coming. See, God never gives you something big when you're still small in mindset. He stretches you, He removes people you thought you needed. He pushes you into solitude so you can hear His voice clearly. And when the time is right, when your faith is mature, when your heart is ready, when your soul can handle the weight of glory, He releases everything. The doors, the opportunities, the peace, the love, the abundance, all of it in His perfect timing. But listen, when that blessing comes, don't forget the wilderness that made you. Don't forget the nights you cried yourself to sleep. Don't forget who sustained you when nobody believed in you, because it wasn't luck, it wasn't chance, it was God. He was there when you were silent. He was there when you felt lost. He was there when you thought it was over, whispering, hold on, I'm not done yet. And now, He's about to show you why it all had to happen the way it did, why those people walked away, why that door closed, why it took so long. It was all part of the setup for something bigger. So lift your head, stand tall, because the version of you that went through the fire is not the same version walking out of it. You're wiser, you're stronger, you're ready. And if you can feel this message deep in your spirit, it's because this Right here, right now, is your confirmation. God is about to reward your patience. He's about to honor your faithfulness. He's about to open doors that no man can shut. So keep trusting. Keep believing. Keep walking forward. Because when God is about to give you something big, He won't just bless your hands, He'll bless your life. And when it happens, you'll look back and say, now I see why I had to go through it all. Before you go, if you're ready to strengthen your faith, rebuild your mindset, and rise above every storm, get my free ebook, Beyond Survival. It's a powerful guide to help you grow through what you go through. The link is in the description and in my bio. Go download it and start your journey to becoming unstoppable.